Hey guys, welcome to my fourth video pertaining to military tactics that you can use in an otherwise peaceful game. This is crippling your opponent with no war. Before I get into it, I just want to say up front that what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the scenario that I'd like to focus on, and I'm actually going to play it out two different ways, just to show how tweaking your strategy, even just a little bit, can have dramatically different outcomes. So even if this is something that you're already aware of, I still recommend you check it out, just in case seeing the different ways it can play out. Maybe you'll learn something, or maybe you'll see me make a mistake. You can leave a comment, and maybe I'll learn something. So what am I talking about here? Well, a couple turns ago, Attila approached me and asked me if I wanted to go to war with Morocco. And Morocco, as you can see, is down to 2 cities because Attila already took over one of the cities. I'm playing as Spain here, so Morocco's pretty much on my border at this point. I'd really rather not Attila like, I don't care if Morocco lives or dies, but I really don't want Attila here. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've got okay military, as you can see. I am the tech leader, so it's not going to be too big of a problem, but I'd rather just focus on my game rather than having to deal with Attila, and he does have a lot of units. As you can see here, the landmass, we got kind of like this tail here. There's Montezuma and Russia. For the most part, though, the rest of this is Attila's right in the center, and again, he's got a lot of units. So if we can whittle down some of his army, that would be great. And basically what I want, I could just attack him and go to war myself, but I don't want to showcase that. So in this first segment, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my units and I'm going to pull them back and make them to where Attila no longer has any land units he can capture from. Okay, and I also want to point out that I've gone ahead and locked all my other units. I've locked my production, my tech path. I've basically made it to where I should be prompted with as few of these decisions to make as possible in order to make the first segment of the video, go as quickly as possible. Okay, don't care about any of that. We're not focusing on any of this stuff. We're just going to lock everybody in. Unit needs orders. We're going to tell these guys to defend, and that way we can hopefully just focus on the war here. It's just going to be turn after turn after turn, so you can see how it plays out when all I do is take the simple approach of trying to block what he's doing here. I'm going to go ahead and highlight one of these guys so it doesn't keep taking my camera away from the action. Yeah, see, as you can see, he's got a lot of units, but we're taking away the 3 land, and you can see he's got land units hopping into the water. I don't know how much the military is going to focus. His military is going to focus. You see he's got a composite bowman. I don't know how much he's going to focus on the water, but like if it's your game, if you're the one, we'll just put him to sleep for now so we can play this out. If you're the one who's, yeah, okay, look at this. It's only, what, 4 turns later, and he lost his city. Okay, so here we are in the second segment. It's pretty much where we started off the first segment, except for I don't have quite as many military units locked in. I've got a Gatling gun in my southern city here, and a Gatling gun in my southern city here, just so that they can stay home and defend my home front. But all the rest of my military is heading this way. Because like I said in the first segment, Attila had actually approached me about attacking Morocco before he declared war a couple turns. So I started heading my military over here. So this time around, I'm actually going to make a more concerted effort to get more units involved in trying to obstruct Attila's advance. As you can see, it's turn 161, and in the first segment, Marrakesh fell on his turn 165. So 4 turns, and the city fell. Why did it fall so fast, even though we had units blocking the siege? Well, it's because of these guys, the trebuchets. All right. The mistake I made the first approach is I had all my units in the first ring. The idea being he can't capture. The problem is he's got so many units, and these guys move fast, the horsemen. They can get into the water. They can still siege. They got lots of penalties against them. And between the Tradition City Bombard and the Composite Bowman, if the AI actually prioritizes land units in the water, he can take them out really, really hardcore. But that doesn't mean they can't, some still get through. So this time around, what I'm going to do differently is I'm going to try to not only preserve his units a little bit, but I'm going to try to occupy the second ring in here. And obviously I don't have to worry about the second ring here, because well, here I would. But I don't have to worry about this tile. But I'm going to try to occupy the second ring more so that his trebuchets can't get in range. Because he's not going to bring them into 1 hex away, because he's going to have his melee units doing that instead. So basically, let's go ahead and have him wait this turn. Alright, you can just go to sleep because you're not involved. He's a scouty type. On a long enough timeline he'd come into play, but I don't really care about any of that. I'm just trying to showcase the war here. Okay, so he pulled his own units back, no problem there. Same thing as before, I'm going to try and get rid of all these prompts just so we don't get bugged by non-essential personnel here. Okay, so what I'll do here is he's got his trebuchets all coming from this side, so I don't have to worry about this second ring tile yet. But I'll go ahead and pull back here, pull back here. He can actually come into here, so maybe I will go over there and occupy that second tile, just because I can. And go ahead and move these guys in. Yeah, okay. And he was upgrading. He can move as far as there. So let's move here and then upgrade, just because we can. Alright, so now we're going to make more of an effort to not just block his units, but systematically block his units. Okay, he took his own military out, which is unfortunate, because assuming Attila goes first, he'll be able to get his melee units in here. That's okay. This is the main thing we're worried about here. So, let's see here. We'll move you in closer this way. I do want to prevent this trebuchet from getting into range at all. So maybe I bring... Let's see, can you reach there? I can't tell. Okay, we'll just bring him over there, and we'll bring him. He's pretty mobile, so that's good. And we'll have these guys just hang out. And I do have more guys that I can bring in. I don't know how necessary they're going to be, but just see how this plays out. Okay. As you can see, we're already halfway towards when Marrakesh fell, and it doesn't have any damage because we've got units 2 hexes away keeping his trebuchets out. He's got a trebuchet here, and one here, and here, and here. So he's actually got 4 here. And I don't want him to move him into here. I don't know if he would, or if he'd try to get a melee unit in here. But actually, it looks like he's got 5. I didn't see that one in the back. So I'm going to go ahead and move him in here. Again, I got to try and block this square hex, because from here, he can actually reach that. Hopefully one of these guys will get there in time. Oh, he's got another trebuchet there. Okay, that can actually be a problem. I might shuffle it as I get more units in range. Okay. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We saw 6 before. Where'd his other one go? Is it backing off? No, it's trying to come in. Okay, that's a problem. So how do I eradicate that? Let's see. He can move here. Well, he would be able to if I could see it. So let's go there to get visibility on the tile. He can move there now. He can move there. It's okay if one gets in range, because obviously I don't have the units to block them all. But, okay, so most of his units are here. Alright, so I'll keep it like this. If one comes in here, maybe he'll prioritize it. I don't actually know. I mean, there's no right answer here. The most important thing is that I'm just going to put that to sleep so we can focus up here. The most important thing is we keep as many trebuchets out as possible. See, he's just getting scratched, which means he'll be able to heal the damage he takes. He's still going to try because he's got all these units. But unless he can get his trebuchets within range, he's not actually... And I'm not keeping track because I'm too busy blabbering, but I don't know how many of these units... What, did I get gifted a unit? Okay, so that's another unit we can bring in. A sucky one, but whatever. Okay, so you can actually move here. Alright, now we've actually got all of the second ring covered, as well as most of the first ring. So he's still going to line up and send units, I presume. Get these guys out of the way. But you can already see how much we've slowed his advance. In fact, I might actually want to get some of these units out of here just so he can get his melee units in range. I got to keep the trebuchets out, is the most important thing. I'm not trying to deal with any of that. Yeah, again, we took damage, healed back up. Another one of his units. I don't know how many of his units he's losing, but okay. And this city is on a hill, it looks like. Yeah, so he can shoot over this hill and get this guy. So we do want to give him some people to shoot. Right now he can shoot this, and it actually looks like he'll be able to move one of his trebuchets into the hill. So I'm kind of looking at if there's a way I can deal with that or not. Not really. If I had another unit here, maybe, but not the case, so we're just going to say to heck with all of these guys. Actually, that scientist is going to prompt me. I'll just park him. Yeah, right now we don't actually have to do anything here, so let me just move this guy out and park him so we can stay focused on this. Alright, you're coming over. That might be helpful. Okay, it actually heals up all together. He did get a trebuchet in, but as you can see, he did kind of prioritize it. And it's good, because if he can do some damage to the city, in fact, it looks like he's starting to withdraw his units, so great general here. I'll try to keep that one out, but maybe he's got a melee unit here. There's not really much more I can do. I'll bring this guy up here just so I can get... Oh, good, he's got another guy that wants to come in. Maybe he'll bring that in. So, I could probably just set all these guys to defend, quicken things up a little bit. But, whatever, I don't care. Okay, and he's even got a boat dealing with some of the guys hopping into the water, so that's pretty good. He's got more guys hopping into the water still. And if I really wanted to do some damage, I could hop in the water and take his great general and kill this guy and stuff like that. But mostly I'm trying to showcase peaceful tactics, just in case you're one of those players. You know, like me, I'm not trying to look down on anybody. I prefer the peaceful game too. In fact, that's how I first realized that this approach actually works. But you know, if you don't want to go to war, just the fact that you can doesn't mean you have to. And knowing how this works, you know, can help you continue to do that. I probably shouldn't be saying yes to everything because my happiness might suffer. But okay, so he's just got trebuchets nearby. He does have a couple of melee units, so maybe if I let another, let another trebuchet get in, maybe. Because we don't want him running away like he's not actually going to... we don't want him to stop his assault, because the more units Morocco can kill... but at any rate, you can see we're already, you know, a good 5 turns beyond where Marrakesh fell the first time. And that was because we recognized that he's got a lot of trebuchets, so we could actually blockade Attila's war by blocking the trebuchet access rather than... Yeah, okay, he's actually pulling away, so I'm going to go ahead and back off just a little bit, give his people more of an opportunity to come in here. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something like that. Let's just get off of all the second ring. See if we can encourage some of those units to get in closer. Actually, this guy's on a hill, so they would not be enticed to move forward. Something like that, I don't know. Not really thinking it through, I'm just trying to show some broad strokes, keep it as quick as possible here. No. In fact, that's actually why what prompted me to make this video. When I was playing this game, I've already finished this game, I'm just coming back for the sake of the video. When I first played this game, I tried to occupy the one ring, and you saw how quickly the city fell. And I used my military might to basically come in and punish him and whittle down his army. So that was kind of cool, because I had never done that before. And you can see his trebuchets are getting toasted. Any unit that comes into range is getting toasted. So, like, I don't actually know how many units he's lost, but the city hasn't fallen yet. He mostly pulled back. He might regain his units and start coming in, and if he does, I can surround the city again. But for the most part, I've shown what I wanted to. You can always use your units to blockade, but you want to pay attention to the specifics of the fight going on. Here, the fact that we had water meant that we had fewer tiles we needed to occupy, which was helpful to being able to pull this off. Attila had talked to us about attacking him first, so we knew that might be coming up. That gave us time to send some military over this way. Seeing that he had as many trebuchets as he did, we were able to occupy the second ring rather than the first, which allowed him to keep sending more units in. In fact, if I didn't have these many units present, he might have made more of an effort. He lost a lot of units. I wasn't counting because I was too busy jabbering my jaw, but you can review the video if you need to know specific amounts. The point being is he pretty much steamrolled them when we just occupied the first ring. When we looked at the various circumstances and knew that the second ring was more important to block his siege units, he was able to shoot down a lot of units in the meantime. I mean, he lost a horseman, and this guy may have come from over here, so maybe he lost his original warrior too. But I'm not really concerned about Morocco's losses. I'm concerned about rigging the surroundings to make it to where Morocco could take out Attila's units as much as possible. And by doing this, we've basically thinned out Attila's military without actually having to go to war with him, which was the point. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope the compare and contrast was of some value to you. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe if you don't mind, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Take care.